Is anyone buying this with John Cena? No, I mean, really. Is anyone? Well, in today's video, we're going to be looking at John Cena, his WWE run up to this point, and more importantly, his WWE reign up to this point, as well as what is going on in the future. Now, WWE did a very interesting thing when it comes to John Cena in his latest match. Now, we all just watched Money in the Bank. It was John Cena teaming up with Logan Paul to take on World Heavyweight Champion Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. It was a match in which John Cena looked to be about to win, right? He grabbed the WWE title after Jay and Logan did a spot outside. The referee was checking on them. He grabbed the WWE title and he hit Cody Rhodes in the head with it, and it looked like he was about to get to victory until R-Truth made a shocking return. That plays a bigger role in WWE's booking of John Cena. Because the reality of this is, does anyone really buy John Cena as a heel? If you look at the promos, you look at the segments, you look at the matches, WWE has done everything in their power to make you want to boo John Cena. He's talked about how we're the problem that he turned heel. They have had him cheat in every way possible. They literally had him beat Randy Orton in his hometown, dethrone Cody Rhodes with the help of Travis Scott, to the point where in the lead up to WrestleMania, the fans were still cheering John Cena so much that people, I think, were starting to get worried that Cody Rhodes may start getting more boos than cheers because people don't want to boo John Cena. This man is in his retirement tour, okay? And he's been a babyface who has gotten mixed reactions for literally 15 years. We're kind of used to it by now. We just want to see the guy, right? He has 20 appearances left. John Cena in his matches is so washed that when he faces a guy like R-Truth, Truth is doing better moves than John Cena at the same moves. He performs them better. Remember, Truth is what, 3 years older than John Cena, 4 years older? We also have a situation in which John Cena, who doesn't have very good matches, cannot win a match without some type of screw job type finishes, whether it's outside interference by Travis Scott or whether it's cheating, the whole kick him in the nuts routine, right? Even in the Money in the Bank tag team match, he had to use a championship belt to beat Cody Rhodes before he got screwed over by R-Truth. Now, I know what you're going to say. Well, he beat R-Truth clean. Is that really something we need to talk about? Is that something that we really should focus in on? Right? John Cena has to consistently cheat himself to victory. Now, I understand that's what a heel is supposed to do, right? But I think you need to be very more cautious and more selective when we use these tactics, okay? I think at the end of the day, no one is buying John Cena's heel turn because there's there's no up to it, right? They have literally handicapped their way to this point. The way that they started it, that's where it peaked, and that was the downfall. The reality of the situation is this. If you wanted to turn John Cena heel, well, you should have done it years ago, decades ago. But they didn't. They waited until the absolute wrong time to do so. I also think another issue and a really glaring issue is John Cena has always been considered one of the best promos in the game. He's one of the best talkers in the history of the wrestling business, in my opinion. Why is it that he is talking in a different voice when he's cutting heel promos? It comes off phony. It comes off as quote unquote fake. It comes off as not authentic. If you're just simply having John Cena go out there and talk low, I think it would do the job. But he overstretches and overstresses his voice where it's almost like it's difficult for him to talk. And he's trying to talk down to us when instead I think he should have took the Chris Jericho approach of just speaking very slow and low, a la 2008. I think another issue why John Cena's heel turn is not working is because there's nothing much different to the John Cena aesthetics, right? We have heard John Cena talk about in the past how he was going to turn heel for, I believe, the first match with The Rock, right? He was going to turn heel up for the lead up of that. He had new music made, he had new gear made. He was going to do everything different compared to what he stood for. In this run, instead of doing that, he's literally staying the same. The only thing that is different is that he changed, instead of having a Titantron, it's just black, which is cool, but that's it, right? There's no different music. And more importantly, he comes out in the same apparel. Now I understand why he wears his shirts and his shorts. I get that. It's because two reasons. Number one, he has talked about how he did not want to get into the fans and give them what they want, which is a different John Cena. He's going to stay true to himself because they dress like him and he doesn't dress like them. I think he should have just wore a suit and called it a day. If you still want to wear the George, go for it there, bud. But I actually think you should have threw it back to like traditional trunks. Another thing to that is it takes away from the authenticity of this heel turn. You want something completely different. That's the whole purpose of the heel turn. People got tired of seeing the same old act over and over and over and over again. Most wrestlers will reinvent themselves, changing their look, changing their ring gear, changing their character, etc. Right? That is what is missing from this John Cena heel turn. With everything I just mentioned, I really, really do believe that is why this heel turn does not work. It's the reason why it is not connecting with the fan base. It's the reason why I'm not 100% bought in on a heel John Cena. It's the reason why I think a lot of people are not 100% bought in to John Cena as being a heel. Now, can you fix some of that? Sure, but y'all, we're in June, okay? We've been in this heel turn run for quite some time. And I think if you are WWE and if you're John Cena, I don't think you have any plans to change his presentation anytime soon. And why would you? We're halfway through the year. We're halfway through John Cena's retirement tour. But more importantly, we're way past halfway of John Cena as a heel. If I had to guess, he's losing that WWE title to Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. And then coming out of that loss, whenever he does lose it and whoever he does lose it to, I think that's when we get back to John Cena as a babyface. I cannot see John Cena retiring as a heel. I cannot see John Cena, only being a babyface for the last, I don't know, month of his WWE run. So that's why I say, what do you kind of expect? You're kind of stuck because of the whole, dig, ditch that you had dug kind of thing.